Here is the new Xiaomi Pad 6. It was launched just a few days ago and the specs of this tablet is pretty interesting. Let's take a look at the tablet itself first and then all of the other accessories, because we have the case, the keyboard case, the stylus, and yeah, just everything with us. So we'll go through each of them part by part, so let's begin. Alright, the tablet itself is rather simple. It has a rather simple design, and the one that we have here is in the grey color variant. The matte finish makes it very easy to grip as well, and it doesn't attract any fingerprints as well, and I think that's just good overall. However, this camera bump here is humongous and I have no idea why. It even makes the tablet rock so badly when placed on the table as well. Seriously, does Xiaomi actually expect us to take pictures with a tablet? And there's only one camera in this camera bump actually. Again, no idea why, but you can take some okay pictures with it, but I really don't suggest you to do it either way. By the way, this tablet also has a custom camera app interface that is very different from their phones, and honestly, I just do not like the idea of tablet photography. What's important here is actually the performance. It is using a rather old chip at this point. It's using the Snapdragon 870 chipset and it's nearly 4 years old at this point in time. Remember, the Snapdragon 870 is technically an overclocked version of the Snapdragon 865 Plus, which is already an overclocked version of the 865. So yeah, there's double overclocking levels, and the 865 was originally released back in the year 2019, so 4 years to be exact. When we did our gaming test using this tablet though, I found out that this chipset is actually still holding up quite well after all these years. We tried Genshin Impact at the highest graphical settings and it can hold up to around 50 FPS average, but it will definitely stutter and we'll have a lot of frame drops down to around 24 FPS, which is just not a really good gaming experience overall. So I lowered to the suggested medium graphical preset and hey, the frame drops are only down to around 40 FPS, which I still think is a lot better than many chipsets today. But even though this is an overclocked version of an already overclocked chipset, the temperature is very good. That is because the entire tablet itself is the heatsink, and it really does help to dissipate heat easily. The tablet is barely warm to the touch, and I would say, yeah, you don't have to worry about the heat at all. But this chipset will definitely affect the battery life of this tablet. The tablet doesn't have the largest battery, only 8840 mAh, and yeah, the battery life isn't exactly the best. We get around 11 hours in our standardized battery life test, and it could be due to the higher resolution of the screen as well, which we will talk about later. The charging speed though isn't exactly the best either. It comes with a proprietary 33-watt charger inside the box, and it charges from 15% to completion in about 80 minutes, and I think that's quite fast overall. And when we look at the temperature though, it is very obvious that the humongous screen became the heatsink and the temperature is very low throughout the entire charging cycle. I also tried charging this tablet using our 140 watts Ugreen Gun charger, and the charging speed is, well, pretty much abysmal at this point. It can take around 10 watts maximum, and it takes nearly 3 hours to charge from 15% to completion. And the temperature control is not really that good either. So yeah, you're pretty much stuck with their own charger if you want to get the best charging speeds out of this tablet. Okay, now the screen. This is an 11-inch screen and it has a rather high resolution of 1800 by 2880, and it can go up to 144Hz refresh rate as well. That could ultimately affect the battery life, like what we said earlier. And this is an IPS LCD screen and it has a pretty okay quality, I would say. Covers around 95% of sRGB color gamut, and it has a maximum delta E of just 1.47, which is really good. The maximum brightness though is around 500 nits, and I would say that's about what we would expect from a tablet like this. And oh, do take note that the Xiaomi Pad 6 does not come with a screen protector, so you have to get it yourself. What I do like about this tablet though is the speaker. Have a listen at some of the music that is played via this tablet. Okay, now it's time for the accessories and we'll return to the tablet a while later. We have 3 accessories with us and we'll start off with the Xiaomi Pad cover first. I'm just gonna call this the cover case and it's a pretty basic folio case, I would say. There's nothing really much to point out. And if you have been in the market for tablets for a while, then you will know what this tablet does. I mean, it's made out of a really nice PU leather cover and the whole tablet attaches to the case like this. And then, yeah, that's pretty much all it does. Pretty simple in terms of design. I just have to say, yeah, the quality of the case is actually very nice and that's it. I still don't like this camera bump, but what can we do with it, right? I mean, it's at least flush with the case, but that would also mean that if you want to drag it across the table, then it will potentially scratch the camera bump. And then onward to the next accessory, which is the keyboard cover, or their official name is the Xiaomi Pad 6 keyboard. Now this keyboard case here is a rather weird one. The quality of it is nice, just like this folio case here. It is also made out of PU leather and the keyboard keys are very nice to type with. And the typing experience is very nice here. All of the keys do bounce and the travel distance is also very good. However, there is no angle selection at all. You see, once we snap the tablet onto the keyboard case, the only thing that we can do is to put the tablet on this cutout here. That is the only one angle to select from, and for someone with a tall body like mine, then yeah, we can't really do much. I mean, I will have to hunch my body and look at it like this, which is definitely not ideal and it will hurt myself. So yeah, not gonna like this angle at all. And then comes the Xiaomi Smart Pen that we have here. It does have 2 buttons here, but I don't think these buttons are customizable at all and you can only do basically one function with each button. And I'm not an artist here, so I just use this pen to draw diagrams and illustrations and whatnot. And it does seems to work really well. It does have 4096 levels of pressure sensitivity as well, which I think is adequate enough for day-to-day use. And now it's time to talk about the software. The Xiaomi Pad 6 is using a special version of MIUI called MIUI Pad, and it still has the same issues as their phone, which means the settings menu is still as complicated as ever, but now we do have some extra features in the settings menu. For example, this special item here called Features for Tablets. It does have some tutorial on how you can use the MIUI Pad software, and I think that is crucial because, you know, for example, the MIUI Pad has the taskbar UI as well, so it basically functions more or less the same as the Galaxy Z Fold 4, which you can watch our video at the top right corner there. You can drag and drop apps from the taskbar to enter multitasking mode, and that is very handy. However, this MIUI Pad lacks any sort of desktop mode like Samsung DeX. That is probably because the keyboard case doesn't come with a trackpad. I'm not so sure. I also paired with a wireless mouse and there is still no desktop mode, by the way. And if you remember, the Xiaomi Pad 5 does have an app called Desktop Mode that you can sideload and then use it. However, desktop mode has been abandoned actually, and yeah, I installed the old version of desktop mode and it just doesn't work with the Xiaomi Pad 6 at all. By the way, this tablet also comes with a USB 3 port at the bottom. Finally, I can transfer 1 gig of files quickly, and surprisingly, this tablet also has HDMI output over Type-C. That is just surprising because I just didn't expect Xiaomi to do so. However, when I connected this tablet to my KVM monitor, which is the Dell UltraSharp U4021QW, it has a lot of delay. I'm not sure why this happens, but it's very obvious that there is delay as seen in this video here. But then again, if you want to connect this Xiaomi Pad 6 to an external monitor or TV, I would still say it's pointless because it doesn't have a desktop mode. And finally, I'm not sure what's the price of this tablet here in Malaysia, but I do think that the tablet is pretty good even if the chipset is quite dated at this point in time. I do hope that the price of this tablet is somewhere around the Xiaomi Pad 5 or at most around 1,599 ringgit. The keyboard is pretty good to type, but we will have to take note of the limited angle that we can select from. And as for this stylus here, yeah, actually if you buy this tablet with this stylus, then it will make a fantastic tablet just for drawing purposes. And if you want to know what other tablets that you can get for around this price tag, then I will point you to the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 FE. That tablet is around 2 years old at this point, but Samsung hasn't released any other tablets that are around the same price range. You can watch our video at the top right corner there or down in the description if you want to. And that's all we have for you here today. Overall, I still think that the Xiaomi Pad 6 is a rather good tablet. It's just missing a few features, and the keyboard cover though, yeah, I really don't want to use it at this angle. I would prefer something like this, so that I wouldn't have to hunch back to look at the screen. Or maybe just get some elevation for my table so I wouldn't have to, you know, place it on the table surface. Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video.